Hello everybody and welcome back as we discuss day 9 of my Read a Book Everyday Challenge for October 2025. And yesterday's book was Road Trip with a Vampire by Jenna Levine. This is the third book in Jenna's vampire series, so I will be alluding to books 1 and 2. So let's dive into my thoughts on this spicy, seasonal, paranormal vampire and witch romance novel recently published by Evermore. Now I am going to start off by showing you the sublimated sprayed edge. For those of you who don't know what sublimation is, it's the technique used to get images like this printed on the side of books. This is the Works special edition, so I only paid £5. I paid £5 for this! So the edge is cool, as is the cover. Actually, this is the traditional cover art, but it's so cool. It works upside down. Look at them! They're so cute! I love this edition. This is very nice. I just wish I had matching ones for books 1 and 2. Kind of hate it when we only get sprayed edges like later on in a series and then they never retrospectively go back to give us matching ones of previous copies because I like matching sets. Never mind, I'll build a bridge and get over it. That's the joke. No, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I am a massive fan of this series. In fact, the first book in this series, My Roommate's Vampire, has actually been involved in a previous Read a Book Everyday Challenge. So that would have been what? Not last summer, the summer before that. Yeah, and fun fact, when I posted my review of that book, I took a photo of my copy in front of this really leery fruit print paper. You had a bit of an inside joke, and Jenna Levine thought it was hilarious. See, I remember these things. That stayed there in my head because I liked that she saw my Instagram post and commented on it and liked it. Just that little bit of engagement. See, you're embedded in there forever now. And to be totally truthful, I've loved it since the get-go. I thought the first book was really unique. It had real fun and joy and levity to it. It was a bit weird. It was simple yet had enough substance in regards to the paranormal setting, the world building, for me to go, right, okay, it's keeping a decent pace, but it's not unsubstantial. It's not got this weird ephemeral world building that doesn't hold up to scrutiny like some other books we've read as part of this challenge. And it formed a really good basis for the rest of the series. Simple but effective world building. Within the universe of this series, magical creatures like vampires and witches do exist, but the human world knows nothing about them. Vampires can kind-of-ish have sort of special powers sometimes. They don't die in the sun, but it makes them feel very uncomfortable. And each of the male characters in these books has something that makes them different to regular vampires within this world. In book 1, Franklin had been in a coma for like 100 years, so he was really out of whack with the times. In book 2, Reginald had been on the run, basically accused of starting this fire that he actually didn't do. And in this book here, we have Peter, who is the vampire love interest. He is suffering from amnesia. Peter was trying to unlock a safe. The spell on it has made him forget who he is. And seeing as he's bumped into Franklin from the last book, he has been sent to go and find the witch Griselda, with hopes that Griselda can help him figure out who he was. Problem is, Griselda, former good friend of Reginald from book 2, and the actual starter of the fire that Reginald got blamed for and was on the run, being persecuted for allegedly having caused. Yeah, she's turned her back on magic. She don't want to be a witch anymore. She's caused too much trouble in her 400 years of life. And instead she's become a yogi. She's all about that chill, happy life. But it turns out for a witch that old and that powerful to not be using magic on the reg, yeah, that's going to have bad side effects. Things are not going 100% well for Griselda, or as she's going at this point, Zelda, at this point in the story. So, in order to have an opportunity to flex her magical powers on the down low, without exposing her real identity in the little community and the life that she's built for herself, Griselda agrees to take Peter on a bit of a road trip as they visit all the places mentioned in the diary he had on him, as they try to figure out who he was. All the while receiving notes insisting that Peter come to a specific location from an unknown entity who, if you've read the first 2 books, you definitely knew who it was going to be. And I was like, oh no, I know what this is building to. That was actually quite fun. I enjoyed that. It was like a reward. You can totally read these books as standalones. You do not need to read previous iterations for anything to make sense. The romances are standalones. The connections between the 3 really are just the guys knowing each other and the fact that they're all vampires and kind of ish around Chicago. Then obviously you've got the linkage with Zelda and Reginald between books 2 and 3. But if you'd read the first 2 books, you knew who the baddies were going to be in this. And I enjoyed that. Normally, I hate things being so obvious, but this was very tongue-in-cheek. This was well done. I liked it a lot. I loved the characters of Peter and Griselda. Peter was handsome but standoffish and broody, and really, I think the fire in this came from Griselda herself. She was fun. Like, I got this woman from the very, very start of the book. Even though she and I could not be any more different, your gal is not flexible at all, and I'm not a powerful magical witch. But she had passion. She was quite fiery, and I know that is, classic thing to say about redheads. But I love the fact that she had this legacy that she'd built up over hundreds of years, and so much of it was just guff. I was like, yeah, what an absolute queen. She knows the power of a good reputation. It does come to bite her on the butt, in years previous, but when push comes to shove, God knows how to put on a show. I love the dynamic between these two. I loved the spice. I had forgotten, actually, it's been long enough since reading book 2, and obviously before that, reading book 1. I diluted in my head how good Jenna's spicy scenes were, and then the moment we got to one, I was like, oh wait, oh yeah, this is good. And we got several in this, and they were all amazing. Frankly, it was a delight. These books are full of so much joy. I love reading books that aren't taking themselves too seriously, but also just do all of the fundamentals right. It's not rocket science. Just write a good book with a good story with good characters and really, really spicy spice. Authors everywhere, listen to me, please. Yeah, I honestly can't tell you anything I didn't like. It was fun. I breezed through it. I was titillated by the spicy scenes. I was surprised when I got to the point of conflict how much of the book was left. But then actually reading it, it didn't feel like much at all. And it was a nice wrapping up of all the threads in the story in a way that seemed realistic, sensible, and suitable for the characters. And it was a fitting ending to this trilogy. I'm sad that we're not going to be getting any more books. But Jenna has been doing it for the last 3 years, and I have enjoyed it every single time. Yeah, these have become a staple for this time of year for me, and I am sad there will be no more. Last Christmas, Sierra Simone and Julie Murphy wrapped up their Christmas romances, and this October, Jenna Levine's wrapping up this vampire series. Why are you all robbing me of joy? Of at least guaranteed, certifiable seasonal joy. Christmas is now ruined, and you've added Halloween to the list. Very unfair, ladies. Very, very, very unfair. Can nothing be sacred in this world? But nah, in all seriousness, what a way to go out with a bang. I might say this is my favourite of all 3. Book 1 was amazing. Book 2, I think, was a solid sequel, and this one, I'm gonna say, better than its predecessors. Yeah, I had a really, really good time. This was fun. This is one of so many reasons why I love reading. Just having a night like that. Finished it, felt good. I was a little bit nervous about taking my sprayed edge into the bath, but it was fine. I didn't drop it, so we're all good. It hasn't been damaged at all. But yeah, a brilliant book. I'm super happy. I was going to read another paranormal romance tonight because, they have been reliable. They've been dependable. But something in the back of my head's like, Christy, why do them all now? Why not save them until close to actual Halloween? At this point, I won't have a paranormal romance to read on Halloween because I'm just blitzing through them all. And it's a Friday night, so I think I'm going to grab myself something high fantasy. My problem with the high fantasies is that they all tend to be the start of series, and I quite fancy a standalone. You'll have to wait and see what I pick. Thank you very, very much for watching. If you haven't already, please give this video a like. If you don't already follow the channel, what more do I have to do? Huh? What do you want? My kidney? My liver? Give it a follow, please. Come subscribe to me. Ugh. And make sure you come back tomorrow to find out what book number 10 is going to be. That'll be pretty much a third of the way through. Time is flying by. Before you know it, the challenge will be over, huh? Sad times. But thanks for being here. Thanks for following along. I will see you later, alligators. Goodbye for now.